Hi everyone, this is Alexander Tegoff again with another box training video. This quick clip is just going to show you how to preview and edit files. So let's just get to it. As far as previewing files is very straightforward. You would simply just click on whichever file you want to preview. We can start with this one. It's going to show you that it's loading the content. Once it's loaded the content, you can go ahead and see the file displayed directly in your browser without having to actually go ahead and download a file just to display it. So that's a nice thing. From here, you got limited options, but still some options. You can go ahead and print. You can go ahead and go full screen if you want to take a look at the file full screen. We'll go ahead and full screen that for you so you can zoom in and get a good view. You have the ability to rotate in clockwise and counterclockwise if the file is not aligned properly. You can go ahead and zoom in and zoom out using the scale on the bottom. You can go ahead and comment on that particular file. For instance, if you see that there's some sort of spelling error or something, you can go ahead and type it in here, check spelling, and that way you will share that comment with all the collaborators. You can assign a certain file as a task for somebody. If they ask you how to do something and there's a training video, for instance, you can assign that video for them to watch, and you can also like a file. So that's pretty much it as far as previewing files. When you scroll up, the only other option you have is to preview other files in that folder or to edit it. So for now, what I'm going to do is going to go ahead and click the previous file. And as you see, what that does is lets you preview the other file that's in that folder. So in this case, it's just a Word file. It basically says test Word notebook. These changes were made with Box Editor. And that's the next part we're going to be reviewing. So let's get out of here. Let's navigate back to the folder itself. You have several different ways of editing something. The first way was when you were in the preview view, you hit the edit button. Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. The other way is to do it from this page. Before we get to the edit, I want to show you something really quickly. As you can see right now, this blue box is showing the number 1 in it, meaning that there is one comment associated with this file. This one does not, meaning there are no comments currently associated with this file. When you go ahead and click on that, you'll be able to see the one or as many comments there are with that file, and you can go ahead and basically reply back to that comment if you're giving input on a collaboration. Hey, I like it, or whatever the case is. You can go ahead and add the comment. Once you add it, you can either edit your own comments or delete your own comments only. And as you see, everything updates in real time. I click delete, everything is gone. So now let's get to the actual editing part. The way I like to edit it is by using this more options button here in the middle. Once you go ahead and click it, there are several options you can do. You can, for this case, for instance, because it is a PDF file, I can edit it with Adobe Acrobat PDF Pro, which I have installed on my computer, or I can go to more options. I can either email this, use DocuSign, or any of the following. Now, with a text document, like this one we have up here, you'll see the options are a little bit different. It does recognize it is a Word file, so I can either edit it with Microsoft Word on my computer, which I would not recommend because it's slower. And if we're dealing with PCs and Macs and you have to go from one to the other, it gets complicated with having to export a file to a certain version. The easiest way, and what I would like to tell everybody to do, is go ahead and go under more options and use the option that says enable with Google Documents. Sorry, edit with Google Documents. Once you click that, it's going to ask you to basically sign in with your Google account if you already have not done so. I encourage all of you to have a Google account because you get all of these documents in Excel and editing privileges online, as well as sharing, as well as bookmarks for Chrome. It's got a lot of different benefits that I'm not going to touch base in this video. But once you select the option, there's a couple of things I want you to know. First and foremost, in the box, because we click edit, as you can see, this icon has popped up indicating that somebody that has access to this folder, in this case just me because it's private, is editing this file. So if you want to upload, if you want to access it or download it or send it to somebody, you may want to wait until that person is done editing the file. As far as the editing goes, pretty straightforward. You have a lot of the same options that you would have in Microsoft Word or Pages or whatever your basic editor is. So let's say you just wanted to go ahead and copy that a bunch of times. With Google Docs, everything saves in real time. So once I'm done making all the changes that I want, I simply close the file on top. following thing happens. First, you see the saving text on the bottom. Once that's done and you get this indication, the message just popped up, that means that the changes you just made were saved. The other thing that's important to note when dealing with editing or changing files, V3, this means that this is version 3 of the file. That's a good way to keep track of whether something you have has been updated or has not been updated. Every time anyone changes a document, the version will change. The more times somebody changes it, the higher the number will go. Very straightforward, very easy to use. The last thing that I want to show everybody in terms of editing documents is updates. So basically you have several different options up here which we really haven't gotten into. So the first one is messages. If I send you a task or messages, or if you send somebody else messages, all of them will be displayed there. The second one is the update, and this is what I want to show you. The update section shows you all recent updates associated with the file. So you can see in this particular case, I'm the PWRC training. It's a private folder. Nobody else has access to it. So I'm being shown as the one making different updates to files. So you'll see this was updated, this was updated, this was updated, this was uploaded, this was uploaded. Basically, anytime somebody makes a change, you'll be able to see what's going on. So if you log into Box once a week, and instead of having to go through all the different documents and scroll through and see what looks different and what changes people made, all you need to do is click on your updates. You'll see all the changes that were made, any new documents that were made, comments, etc., etc. So very great, very easy to use. Get yourself familiarized with it. I would say spend some time just figuring out, going through the menus, playing with all the different options. These are just the basic editing options that I went through. There's a lot more stuff you guys can do. But until next time, this should give you, everything you need to know about simple editing using Box.